I'm gonna wait a few minutes. Let's see who can get on. I am coming back for part 2 of my 5-part series this week. We're gonna be doing it a few times next week as well. And we are specifically talking about 5 different habits that you need to cut before we go into 2021. If you're watching, tell me where you are watching from, please. And can you guys tell me, did you guys watch part 1 of this series? Because they are building upon one another. So if you're watching, will you please comment and let me know? Hey, Lacey. Let me know if you guys watched part 1 and if it was helpful for you, which I hope it was. I'm having my afternoon coffee. Anybody else have afternoon coffee? Because I sure do. Not every day, but I do today. Hey, Libby. Hi. Hope you are all having the best day. I am having a phenomenal day. Very busy day, but hey, that's a good thing, right? That is a good thing. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get going because I get chatty and then I go way longer than expected. So I'm going to try to not do that today, okay? I have calls and meetings all after this, so y'all are lucky because I only have a certain amount of time to talk because I can get carried away. Hello. If you're just joining on, tell me guys if you watched part 1 of this series that I did yesterday. It is on my feed. If you have not watched this, I really would love for you to, after you watch this, when you get some time, go back and watch part 1. We're building upon one another. Yesterday I started talking about I introduced the series, then started talking about the foundation that we really have to build and the correct way to think about this and to go about it. Everybody is all for weight loss and, there's so many people out there these days. I mean, we want to lose weight. We want to look our best. We want to feel our best, but a lot of the times we go about it the wrong way. So that's what I started talking about yesterday. So if you missed that, please go watch because it's going to help you in your own journey. So what we're going to talk about today, hey Lena, what we're going to talk about today is going to be part 2, the second habit, the second thing that we need to make sure that we are not taking into 2021 with us. And that is the idea that clean eating is what you need to do. Okay. And I will explain all of that. I will explain why you can't get so caught up in clean eating, okay? So before we get going, I have like a little exercise for you that I want you to do. Here's what it is. I want you, let's say that I have a magic wand, okay? And what I want you to do right now is I want you to think of the goal that you want to achieve, okay? So whether it is you want to lose 10 pounds, 15, 20 pounds, more than that, whatever the case may be, or you just really want to find a way to stop falling on and off every single week, okay? Or you want to make it through the weekends, like whatever it is, or you want to learn more about nutrition. You don't want to be so confused all the time. Whatever it is, I want you to think about the goal that you want, okay? Got it in your head? Yes? Get it in your head. Think about the goal, what it is that you need to achieve. And let's say I have a magic wand and I say, okay, poof, there we go. Goal achieved. Done. It is 1:43 in Texas. So wherever you're at this point in time, how are you going to live out the rest of your day? How are you going to speak differently? How are you going to think differently? How will you move differently, dress differently, all of the things? How will your life change? Like, what will happen? It's going to be much more than just looking down and seeing a different number on the scale, right? Like, there's going to be different things that are going to happen when you actually achieve your goal, all right? And so what we want to do is really put ourselves in that position to where, look, it's already happened. All this stuff that we want, let's say it is already here. So now I want to ask you, where you're at now, we're coming back to reality of where we're at now. Now we need to lose the weight. We need to do this, all of that, okay? What is your current situation costing you now? Like, what is it keeping you from doing? Most likely your answer is going to be the answer to the previous question I asked you, which was, what would you do if the rest of the day today you've achieved your goal and it's happened? Okay, so that's likely your answer. Where are you at right now? What is the current situation you're in right now costing you? As in, is it making it to where you are always so in your head you can't enjoy a dinner out with your family? Or is it costing you feeling super, super guilty because every night after dinner you're in the pantry and you eat all the chocolate and the this and the that, and you end up just feeling sick every night and you lay your head on the bed and you're just like, oh, I'm going to do better tomorrow. And you just feel defeated. Like, what is it? What's it costing you right now? Because it's costing you something. So you want to think about that. Like, what is that? Is it something to where you're just so stuck in your own thoughts that you just can't get out and you can't enjoy? And I want you to kind of sit and think, okay, this situation I'm in now, where this has me, I've been here for a little while, whether that's 2 months, whether that's 10 years, however long it is, you've kind of been here in a place for a bit. And so what is that doing to you? Most of the time what that does to us is it keeps us small. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us living and revisiting our insecurities every single day. And the number one thing that I hear whenever I get on the phone with you guys or anyone that's interested in our program, the number one thing that I hear is, I just want some confidence back. I want to feel like myself again. I want to look in the mirror and just like be happy, be okay with what I see and feel as good as I think I feel. I want to see it on the outside, stuff like that. So wherever you're at now, the situation you're in, it's costing you something, it's keeping you small, and it's keeping you stuck. And in a way, we're replaying that over and over again in our head every single day that we don't take action on it and we don't do something to change it. Is this making sense to anybody so far? Will you let me know? We have a few people on here. I would love to actually have this be interactive. I don't want to just talk all the time. I see a few hearts. Good, good. Hi, Rachel. Definitely making sense. Thanks, Savannah. Awesome. Okay, so in turn, these things are keeping us small. These are going to be self-defeating thoughts. These are going to be things that keep knocking our confidence down. AKA, these are going to be lies that we are telling ourselves, that we are playing into, that we are putting on repeat over and over and over again in our head. Think about that for a long period of time. Okay, think about how that's going to affect you and affect your confidence and affect the way that you live out your life and that you show up so big for your life and you show up for your kids and your husband and your job and just everything that you do. It's going to impact things. You can't think that it's not, and you'll be naive enough if you do think that it won't, because it does. It totally does. And so we kind of walk around and we stay small. We kind of stay back in the corner or we stay in the shadows because we're always feeling these things and thinking these things. What we need to do is, number one, what I talked about yesterday. We need to come out and we need to really look at, okay, let's set the foundation. Let's stop looking for the shiny objects. Let's stop looking for the quick fix. Let's actually fix this. Let's dig down deep. Let's unpack that backpack so that I can move forward and I can be done with this. Like, I can look back and say, okay, done, gone. I'm looking forward to new things. Like, I got a whole life ahead of me. I've got new problems to worry about, kind of a thing. This doesn't have to be my problem and my issue anymore. I can be past it. So what happens most of the time is we're stuck in our cycle. We get really tired of it. We get really fed up. Christopher, hi, my husband's on here. Hey, Sarah, happy birthday. Sarah's a client and today is her birthday. We get really tired of it. We get really fed up with it. And so we say, okay, I have had it. I am not doing this anymore. I saw that number on the scale and oh my gosh, how did I do this? How did I get here? Blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's it. I've had it. I am cutting dairy, sugar, carbs, whatever else, fat, like just grains, like anything. Like we start just saying, okay, I can't, I can't have any of these things. Like it's done. I'll never touch a gram of sugar again, right? Like we've been there. I know you've been there. I have been there. It happens because we just get so fed up with ourselves. Well, what happens in turn is we might be all gung-ho about this. We might be like, okay, yeah, girl, you're going to do this. Like we're all about it. We're pumping ourselves up. We might be able to do something like that and come in and really restrict ourselves and really put some new chains on us for a little bit. And you might be able to do it for a while. But what's going to happen slowly over time? Like honestly, like what's going to happen? What's going to happen is, well, you're going to have a sugar craving. Our time of the month is going to come. Oh, yes, Sarah. Thank you. Our time of the month is going to come. We're going to be at work and somebody's going to bring in an amazing birthday cake or something like that. And you're just going to be like, oh, okay. Oh, man. But what are you going to do? Because you've sworn off sugar. You've sworn off anything that gives you any type of joy. You've sworn off anything except for veggies and grilled chicken. Like, can you see what I'm talking about? Can you see where I'm going with this? This is not something you put yourself, you're coming from a place of beating yourself up, playing small, going round and round on this cycle of yours that you've been on for a while. Then you step into something and you put yourself into some really tough bound, like a place, like a really, really tough parameters for anybody to stay in. And you're good for a little bit. You're feeling really good about yourself. You're seeing results, this and that, but then life starts happening. Well, you're going to end up caving. You're going to end up caving. It doesn't mean you're a failure at all. It doesn't mean you have no willpower. No, not at all. Maybe the change you put on yourself from the beginning of saying, I'm swearing off anything that is good, maybe that was the problem. Maybe it's not really you. Maybe it's actually just the way that you're going about it. Does that make sense? Can I get an amen? Is anybody listening? And is this helping any? Like, are you starting to see, okay, well, yeah, maybe it isn't you. Maybe it's not the fact that that's right, Sarah. Maybe it's not the fact that you're messing up all the time. Maybe it's just, man, I'm going from like self-defeating thoughts, beating myself up, to putting myself in this box that I can't eat anything. I can't do anything fun. I can't enjoy my life in order to see another number on the scale. We don't want that. So what we need to do is really look long-term. I want you to look long-term. I want you to look way past the holidays. I want you to look past next summer. I want you to look a year from now. Like, where do you want to be a year from now? What do you want to be struggling with a year from now? Maybe a better question is, what do you want to not be struggling with a year from now? If it's this back and forth, maybe you need to do something to actually end it and get it taken care of so you don't have to be here a year from now. Those are the things you need to be worrying about. Those are the things that you need to take action on today instead of saying, all right, the fun for my life, I can't participate because I've sworn off sugar. I've sworn off all the things. I'm doing Whole30. There's no way I can't do that. That's just setting us up for failure. So here's what I tell everyone that I get on a call with, of somebody that puts an application in, and then they and I get on a call. I explain it like this. I explain my philosophy like this. I would so much rather give someone a system, a plan, a blueprint that is going to work for them, that does allow them some time to be able to have dessert after dinner, or have wine with your friends, or have pizza with your kids, or have a movie night, like those kinds of things. Yeah, that's not going to be the entire portion of your plan and your program at all, but you know what? You're actually seeing that, okay, I am going to have to work a little hard for this to stay on this plan. I am. It's going to be work, but I can do it. Like, this is something I can do. I can sacrifice, but hey, Brittany, I got this. I can do it. So, okay, we can do this. Let's say we're looking at 10 days. If I give you a plan that you can do that and you can stick to for Okay, let's just say 8 out of 10 days, you can stick to it. It's a little bit tough, but you can do it. You are feeling good. You're doing great. Then let's say I give you another plan that I want you to do. This other plan is like what I was talking about before. Chicken and broccoli, clean eating, no salt, no sugar, no this, no grains, no that. That plan's pretty tough. That plan's pretty restrictive. You can only stay on that plan. Let's say you're doing really good if you can stay on it like 3-4 days out of your 10 days. All right. So can you see what I'm talking about here? If we're looking 90 days ahead, if we're looking a year ahead, then where are you going to be a year from now if you're following the super restrictive plan, if you can only follow it like 4 days out of the week versus another plan that you can follow 8 out of 10 days, okay? 4 out of 10 days, 8 out of 10 days. You're gonna be a whole lot more successful 8 out of 10 days on something that gives you a little bit of freedom, something that makes you still love your life, enjoy it, appreciate the chocolate you get, or, whatever it is. Like, you need those things. That's last. We don't want to just cut those things out. So the big mistake that I see so many people make is the fact that we swirl those things off. We don't allow ourselves to have any fun. We just say, can't do it. And then we're kind of screwed down the road because we fall off, and then it just starts that guilty cycle again. Then you start to feel like, I can't do anything. I'm such a failure. No, it's not you. It's your plan. I say that all the time. It's not you. It's the way that we're going about it. And so if you can kind of start to think about that and think, okay, just because I eat clean, if I'm not losing the weight, something's still wrong. Okay? Just because we eat healthy food doesn't mean that, now, don't get me wrong, that's amazing. That's wonderful. I will always preach that you need to eat less processed food, more whole foods. But there is room in there to eat things that you do love and enjoy it. And if you can find that room and find that balance, find that gray area that I'm always talking about that we need to live in, you're going to be so much more successful and happy down the road. You're going to get so much farther a year from now, 90 days from now. So kind of start thinking of it that way. Less restriction. It doesn't mean that you have to swear everything off and put these new almost set of chains on you that's just going to end up not letting you get anywhere. You want to kind of put new goggles on, put new glasses on, learn, just kind of dig in, learn about nutrition, and stop, setting yourself up for beating yourself up 2 weeks from now. Just don't do it, because all that's going to do is hurt you and hurt your self-esteem and everything else, which is not what we want. We want this. We want our health to be something that makes us stand up tall, increase your confidence, think better about yourself, show yourself, look, I can do hard things. What else you got for me? Because I can do it. I can set a goal and I can actually do it. But you're not going to be able to do that unless you do it in a balanced way. Instead of doing super restrictive diets. Let me see here. Hannah says there was a huge difference in pictures you posted of you where you said you worked out more. What was the biggest reason for that physical change if I worked out less? That's such a very good question. So the biggest difference, to be honest, was a lot of things. And I always say this too, so that's such a good question. There's not one thing that's going to make the biggest difference. If you're always searching for like the one thing, like what's the one thing I need to do, you'll always be missing it, because we have to realize it's a lot of things that are going to get things moving in the right direction. So on that post, I really went into detail and kind of talked about, yes, I do work out a whole lot less now. I did CrossFit back then. I love CrossFit. I love CrossFit. But I have Hashimoto's. I can't do CrossFit anymore. It doesn't work well with my body. It messes me up. I also was eating very, very, very restrictive. I didn't really have this sense of living in the gray area and healthy, good boundaries. I was in my head all the time. I had not yet grasped the fact that this is a comprehensive lifestyle. We can't put these little things in their own little box and expect everything to work together. Does that make sense? We can't do that. We have to realize they all work together. They all go together. And the quicker we can make them all work together and realize these are all little variables in our life that are going to lead us to our goal. But if I'm leaving variables out and saying, oh, that doesn't affect this. Sleep doesn't affect this. Stress doesn't affect this. My thoughts don't affect this. My workouts don't affect this. We'll always be stuck. We'll never be where we want to be. I hope that answered your question. It goes perfect with this. I'm so glad that you asked me. So guys, all right, I said that I was going to keep it short. I literally have 1 minute until my next meeting. But this is part 2 of my 5-part series. I hope that this is coming to you and really like encouraging you and helping you just kind of see, okay, it all starts here. It really does. You can start here. You're going to start seeing it everywhere else. We've got to get, hey baby, we've got to get ourselves in order here. I know we will. My boys just got home from school. Hi, sugar. Mama loves you. Okay. And then we will start to see the changes that we want to see, but it is several different things. So this is all leading up to my biggest and only birthday bash I've ever done, which if you are somebody that has thought about joining our program, if I have talked to you at any point this year, if I haven't talked to you and you've just been on the fence, there's never been a better time to reach out, book an application or fill out an application, book a call with me. Let's just see if we'd even be a good fit to work together. Because I only work with people that I do feel like, okay, we're jiving, we're grooving. I absolutely love my clients, and it has to be that way. We have to have a good relationship so that we can move forward because we work so close together. Because this is something that, man, we got to get down deep. We got to get down there and take care of it so you don't have to deal with it anymore at all. All right. If you want kind of the early VIP, I guess, access to our birthday deal, just send us a DM. We'll take care of you there. And also, if you watch the replay of this and you have a friend that needs to hear some of what I'm saying, all of what I'm saying, one part of what I'm saying, tag them. We light each other's fires. We light our own fire by lighting other people's fires. Like, let's encourage other women. Let's help each other. Let's just spur each other on. So tag a friend that needs this. This is something, hey Jen, she's another client of mine. And this is something that can help anyone no matter where they're at. All right, guys, love you all. I will talk to you later. See you next time for part 3. Let me know if this helped you. I sure hope that it did. If you have any questions, just DM me. I'm always happy to talk to you guys. Bye.